A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there to my channel, the Twinflame Union. I welcome you all with a lot of love and affection and gratitude, my dear soul sisters and soul brothers, my soul family, all of you people who are divinely guided to be here. I feel that we all have a soul connection because we are all on the same mission work, that is to ascend and to transform planet Earth and bring back its usual glory, how it used to be or how it should be at its peak when it is fully ascended and fully healed. So the dark ages are gone, and in this part I would be talking about how the dark ages has to go in your energy body also now, because you cannot carry these negative templates and negative patterns forever. And you also should not be scared of it. Some of you people will experience pain on your chest, in your back areas, in your shoulder, in your legs. You will feel pain in your thigh area. You will feel like there is a lot of muscle tension. You cannot stretch your body fully. All these are ascension symptoms. And this is also a clear sign that there is blocked energy in your system. Now this channeling is about the first love, the first crush, and the first real relationship of the Divine Feminine, which was really a horrible relationship. And for a long time, she didn't realize it because, so many years have passed by, and you obviously don't think that, those innocent affairs or those rejections would have really made any difference. But they did, because these actually cropped out from her soul template, her family template, how she was raised, what were the environment she was raised in. For example, if she was continuously made to feel that she's good for nothing, or she's not that beautiful, or she's not that nice, or there is always something wrong with her, there is a lot of judgment, there's a lot of questioning, there's a lot of, pointing fingers, then she obviously has a low self-esteem in even if she's beautiful, smart, or talented. So it took her, at that time, obviously she did not understand that there is a problem with the inner work because she's still growing up. At that innocent age, you just take everything as it happens. So when all these bad experiences happened in the dating scenario or in the crush scenario, she actually thought that this is not for me, this lifestyle, or like she would look at all her other friends who would have really nice, caring, loving boyfriends, but she would have either those type of friends who were always very selfish, very like slimy friends who would bitch behind her back about her, but say very nice things to her on her face. And obviously the Divine Feminine at that age used to stand out, because that age you are very fresh and you are still actually breaking a lot of barriers of body, of age, of going to say a new school or a new college, or just upgrading from the junior classes to senior classes to high school, or probably for some people who start working early, like they start doing part-times, they also have another place to look up to, something new to do. So they were obviously meeting people, and this is also the time when you go for house parties, when in the normal setup, I'm saying, in the metros. Even if you're not from the metros, you're from say downtown or you're from suburbs, then also there are many new things happening in the life of Divine Feminine. So obviously she was attracting people, but she was not attracting the right type of friends or the right type of guys. And all of these people were a reflection of whatever she was going through in her upbringing scenario, which means the way she was raised, the love she was given, how they were being treated, how she was being treated, the innermost things, the patterns were actually beginning to form at that time. So these formative years and these puberty years, or these adolescence year or teenage years, or starting new things, this will now form a base for what is going to happen in adulthood. So that's why it's very important to know that one thing is for sure, that these Divine Feminines all over the globe, they are very diligent and they're very hardworking people. So what would happen is that when they get these heartbreaks from the crushes or from the first date or from the guy, some of them would be like, this is not for me, so I should rather focus on my studies, or I should focus on my job, or I should make money, or I should learn the household work. Basically, they took responsibility at a young age because that felt like a comfortable place, a place where they could hide into. Now, this also created the foundation or the base for inner work to begin, because the actual inner work did not take place in childhood. For some, it did, because the spark was lit in the childhood, but it was after these moments of despair, that she actually looked for help and some kind of comfortable place. And since she did not have a proper guiding system, for those of you who did not have a master, and those who did have a master or a guru, they were being taken care of, but still there was so much happening in the materialistic world, and so much pressure from family to prove your worth. This journey is all about validation. And at that age, there were demands from the family that you should do this, you should do that, you should be this way. If not the family, not the immediate family, then the society, then the relatives who had a lot of influence, some uncles and aunts or some grandparents. Like, there were people who would make her feel that to prove her place in the society, in the community, and even in the family, she needs to do something about it. So she did that, and she was really good with it, because there's not much to get distracted from. The heartbreaks were basically like a wall trying to shield her or keep her away. And though this does not mean that she did not have her share of bad relationships, because those were the energy she had, and obviously other people, other situations would mirror those energies. So inner work is somehow also related to the work we do, the profession we have, because at that time her profession and her work was not something she loved, but she had to find out that by getting into it. It's like by only after being in a bad relationship, she found out that this is not what I deserve. Similarly, when she worked like an ass, like a donkey, she made a lot of money, she did everything like whatever she was asked to do, she realized that this is not the path for me. What she was more attracted to was ascension, spirit work, research, soul searching, inner work, going away, being alone. There was a time when she could not be alone because she wanted to be around people. She wanted company, and she forced herself into the arms of wrong people just because she was scared to be alone. But slowly and gradually, with the abuse that came, the trauma that came, she learned to deal with those things, and she realized that she's much better off alone actually, because in her own alone secret world, no one is troubling her, no one is bothering her. And this loneliness started turning into enjoying your own company slowly and gradually, because she obviously started finding out what would interest her. So now I'm being shown the vision of the divine feminine, and it has happened to different people in different parts of the world. And a lot of you know already why you resonate with it, because you have shared this template for the earth's upliftment. It's a very special thing to do. Never consider yourself any less. Even if you have been judged by your own people, even if you have been told like 1,000 times or more than that you're not good enough, you're wrong, you're this, you're that, you're so weird, you're so dumb, or you're so stupid, or if they mocked you, if they laughed at you, or if they manipulated you, or if they made you always feel like you are, you don't fit in, and you tried your level best to be the bestest person for them, they would always make you feel like you're the worst, and they're never satisfied with you, they're never content with you. No matter what you do, even if you bring the moon and the sun to them, they will still have problems in that. So that type of energy created this type of attraction pattern, where the feminine attracted the first date with a guy who was only interested in her body, in her looks, in her physical aspect. He had nothing to do, because he was a completely underdeveloped mind, completely underdeveloped soul, who was very well spoken, very smooth to talk to, probably also very good looking, and he knew how to play with girls. These type of guys, even at a young age, they know how to give compliments to the girls, what to say, what not to say. So what I see is that he called her for a date to meet her. But when she went to meet him, he actually took her to another location because his idea was only to make out with her, not to talk to her or get to know her or be happy that she has come out to meet him. Now, that type of making out, or even if it's the first kiss of this girl, of the divine feminine, it was not something she liked. She felt very used, very cheated, very manipulated. And also, it's like, you give someone an offer, a very nice offer, and then later on, when the actual thing is given, it's like you tell a person that I have this amazing chocolate pie for you, but when you eat the chocolate pie, it's probably very stale, old, and it's just like heated up in the microwave, but you still have the stale taste in your mouth, and you immediately want to throw it away in the dustbin. So this is how her first date was. And this betrayal and this manipulation actually created a wall around her, that whenever somebody used to approach her, she would always think otherwise. And in this case, even the right guys, who were the nice guys, came to her, who approached her, she never believed them, because the nice guys were too honest and too straightforward. They didn't do all of this manipulation. They were straight away like, yeah, I love you. Even holding hands with her was amazing, but she never understood. So when you really like someone, when you really look up to someone, when someone actually makes very nice promises to you, like this guy who she goes out on her first date with, initially on the phone or when he meets her or he sees her, he sees that she's a very attractive girl, standing out. What I see is that he had actually seen her while she was dancing at some place with her friends. So he went and he actually danced with her. And she was also taken by a surprise, because there were many other good-looking, attractive guys, but no one had the guts or the courage. So that type of confidence that he reflected, and she is obviously drawn by confidence because she herself had always had oodles of confidence. The only thing is that this confidence was repressed by the surroundings she grew in, the template she had, the paternal, the maternal, the matriarchy, patriarchy. That template always suppressed her talent, always suppressed her confidence level, most importantly. So because of that suppression energy, wherever she would see that confidence, she would get attracted, drawn to that. So when this guy, whosoever he was, when he showed her that type of confidence and, very smooth manner, he got her number and then he called her up and then he said, hey, why don't you come to this place? And I really want to see you. It would be so nice to see you. And she's like, okay, that's so nice. And she kept thinking about how this guy is. And she got very impressed by him, the way he, danced with her, the way he smiled at her, the way he looked, his overall dressing sense, his personality, his hairstyle. It was all fake, obviously. It was not real confidence. Because, I will tell you one thing, this is very important, that some people have real confidence and some people have superficial confidence. It's a confidence, like a lot of celebrities have it. They look so polished, and their personality, with the makeup, with the clothing, with the way they talk, everything, and the money that's pumped in. But if you actually take away all of that from them, then they will be nothing. No one would care about them, or they would not be so interesting to talk to. With no offense to any talented celebrity or any talented famous people, there are really good ones also, but I'm talking about in general, because to present a movie or to present a song or to present something, there are probably hundreds and hundreds of people who are involved in the back end, and there are crores and crores of rupees involved. Real talent probably is where you don't have a huge team, or you don't have so many people, you do most of your work. Like there are some really good singers who write their songs, produce their music, then also make the work, make the tunes, make the composition. It's just an example, guys, just trying to understand, because this is the work this is the type of work I do, so I can see this difference. Whereas they go to a music producer where there is a different person who is composing the song, different person who's writing the lyrics, different person who is, giving the voice modulation. There's a different person who's coming up with the music. So there are like 10 different people who are bringing up one song, as compared to a person who's the songwriter, producer, singer, all of the things together, and it's their own idea. Now the same example I will give you in a in an idea, a technological idea. For example, Nikola Tesla. I don't know how many people know about Tesla, but he was a genius of his time. And all of his inventions were self-created inventions. He did not take help from anyone. So he would write down the idea. And he also was a deep meditator, by the way. And he was also a channeler, and he was someone with a huge intuition power. So this is the reason why I'm talking to all of you, because you may also be having these lovely gifts with you, but because of all the repression of your confidence, you have actually lost that thing, and you have to revive it back. Because in this journey, in this ascension journey, you are supposed to revive the natural self of you. You could be a wonderful gardener. You could do magic with plants, but you have been repressed so badly. People would say to you, hey, why do you keep, toiling yourself in the soil? What is this? Maybe you love to do gardening, and your mother comes up and says that, why do you keep wasting your time on all this work? Why don't you find a decent job for yourself? Why don't you get something where you can earn some money also? But maybe you can earn great money in doing something for plants, or you can find a side job, where you can make money, and then you can help in the plant community. But that will never flourish, because you have been suppressed, your energies, your confidence level, by continuously nagging you, continuously telling you that you're not good enough, this doesn't make sense, you will never make money like this, you have to settle down, you have to find this, what will people say, what will the society say, what will they say, what type of work do you do, these type of things. So Nikola Tesla was like this great inventor who not only used to write the inventions, find the formulas, but he also used to create those gadgets. It's not easy to do that, and they used to work much better than the other very low technology that time it was created. Like, for example, when those people created the bulb, when Thomas Edison created the electric bulb, Nikola Tesla had already created a technology which you simply use a grounding tool, like a stick, like an electric stick, and you have to just simply, fix it in the ground, and with the ground, it will take the energy and it will create electricity for at least 2-3 kilometers. All of that electricity. And this was a marvelous invention which did not cost much money. All it needed was the earth energy and the normal energy like you have in abundance in the source, like the air, water. He used to do all those inventions, but his inventions were suppressed because the corporations would not have made so much money, and the paper money is just an idea. It is just given as a trap to a lot of people so that they don't follow their hearts, they don't do what they love, but they in turn become a slave of the corporation. So these are the reasons I'm giving you an example, because via faith, like I can give you my example here. There was a time when I used to work in the corporates and I used to slog myself and I used to make money, no doubt. I'm not denying the fact that I made a lot of money and I had a good lifestyle, but that was not something which I loved. In fact, I hated it. To be very honest, I used to hate it. I used to really despise it. I used to despise the crowd. I used to despise my bosses. Wherever I worked, I always felt that they were all so manipulative, also fake, always like pretending so much. All the formalities they used to do, the clothing, the branded shoes, the branded suits, because sometimes I had to wear corporate suits also, and I used to really find it very annoying. Now, I used to think that, when I want to do my own work or any work, why can't I just dress up the way I love, who I am? Why can't I just put the makeup I love or make the hairstyle that I love? Or why can't I just be very simple? Why do I have to be so flashy, have the best clothes? So these were the things that I grew up from. It was not easy. It was a very hard decision to break away from that place because there was money. Money was being offered, and I thought that if I leave this, for me, I was definitely sure that I will do something. Maybe I will make less money, but I will be more happy. And that I learned from experience, because side by side, while I was working, I started writing. First, it was a secret passion. I did not share it with anyone, but I wrote so much. I wrote like 4 or 5 books, and one of the 4 or 5 books was In the Name of Love, which is based on the journey of finding our ultimate soulmate. And now there are 2-3 books in pipeline already. So this was because I was doing it secretly. But when it came out in public, when it came out in open that I actually am a published author and I want to make money via writing or doing artistic work like making music or things like that, then I had to face a big amount of struggle. Like, it was the biggest struggle of my life that lasted for many years. It was not easy. So the inner work is also a part of this. What you love, what your profession is, what your journey is, what your mission work is, how much faith you have in the mission, how much faith you have in the divine, you slowly and gradually you build it up, and you have to become an independent person who doesn't even need the divine masculine, to be honest, for her finances. So this guy, whosoever he was, the first date, it was a really bad experience for her. Even the way he touched her, like the first time when he touched her or he was close to her, it didn't feel bad because he was still not, doing the things. But when he figured out by talking to her on the phone that, oh, she's very simple, she's very easy to trap, I just have to say a few nice things to her, just few lovey-dovey things to her, and she will, walk like 10 miles for me. When he figured that out, that she's very, he can really easily make a fool out of her, then he planned the date. And in that date, there were other guys too, other people too, but he didn't even care. He didn't even care how she would feel or what her emotions are. He just grabbed her and held her, and it was the worst feeling she had. So she probably did confide with some friends, but in that age, even the friends cannot give correct information. Or even if you have good friends, the bad ones, the bad apples would be like, oh, so what? He just gave you a kiss, or he just hugged you tight, or he just, touched you, so what? Or he was like this, so what? Come on, girl, this happens. This is how guys are. If someone would say, no, this was wrong, you should not have gone to that guy, or even better, if that friend of hers, girl or guy, blasted that guy that, hey, how could you do this to my friend? She went all the way to meet you and you did this to her. The divine feminine did not really understand. She was just so confused and so hurt and so traumatized with that whole betrayal, that this betrayal actually stayed with her for a long time, and that stopped her from finding the right guy. And the same thing then replicated in her first relationship. The first relationship was somewhere she was completely like taken for a ride, where the guy was always acting like a victim, always acting so helpless, and this helplessness and this victimization, this sympathy factor is the problem of many divine feminines. Out of sympathy, they have done so many things. Out of pity, out of sympathy, that it's uncountable. So you have to stop doing that. So for sympathy, he would say many things. He would act like a victim. He would keep saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. And she didn't even love him, because she'd never loved anyone the way she loved her twin. She never really loved anyone. And I have to say this to all of you here. If you were in a false twin relationship, you did love your false twin and the false twin loved you too, but it was again not at the same intensity of what you feel for the twin. And the twin also loves you the same way, by the way. If you have any doubts upon that, you must clear it. But that doesn't mean you will start calling him again and messaging him again just because I'm saying it here. And you're like, okay, so Sunamoon is telling me this, so I must call him up right away and tell him, I love you too, my honey boo. Don't do that stupidity. If you're in separation, if there is no contact, no communication, just stand your ground. There are certain things that you need to know in your soul first, in your soul. And when it develops fully in your heart chakra, when it's like 100% belief, then other things will happen. And I'm there to guide you out if you need my guidance. Or maybe you will create your own guidance system. Just God is your guidance. Your angels are there. I'm just not so important, to be honest, in some cases or in many cases. I'm just a medium, I don't want to take any credit for anything, but I'm just saying that you're not alone, you're not lost, but don't make this stupidity. So this first relationship actually went for a longer period of time, because you have to understand that in case of divine masculines, the relationships end very fast. And he had many flings, but in the divine feminine cases, the relationship was stretched like a rubber band because of her sympathetic nature. Empathy is good. Sympathy is a total waste of time. So she would feel so sympathized. It's like having pity sex all the time, or it's like having a pity relationship, a pity date, paying money for the guy all the time. He's like good for nothing. The divine feminine is earning and he's always like, oh, I broke my car, or I broke my this, or now I don't have, my wallet is empty. All the dates she's going and she's paying, she's pooling in money all the time. Like once in a while, twice, it's okay, or it's fine if it's an interdependent relationship. Like you can understand what I'm trying to say. The burden of everything was on her, and on top of that, this guy was showing to her that he's a very nice guy, he's very loving, but behind her back everyone knew that he didn't give a shit to her. So this is a very bad place to be in, because not only the guy she's in a relationship with is a horrible human being, but also the friends she was surrounded with, they were all really mean people who were simply using her. Some were using her for a trophy, friend, a trophy girlfriend, because she's good looking or attractive, or she has something about her which they don't know. They can't figure it out. There is some kind of level of confidence, because divine feminines always had faith. Even though things were going wrong in their life, even though everything was shattering, breaking, people were hurting her, she was, not able to cry, not able to confide. But there's one thing that made her stand out in the eyes of other people is that her faith was very strong. The faith, that faith creates a sparkling soul. The soul will always have a shine. So she had that shine always. And that's why I love you all so much, because all of you have this beautiful shine about you. And I don't want to pump you up, because, I also tell you where all you make mistakes. I have, in some channelings, I have also been guided to shout at you all, scold you all, like, get very angry also. But you all take it in such a nice spirit. You understand this journey is where you have to bring out the real you. So I'm really proud of you. And on this note, I'm going to end this channeling session. But I want to tell you guys that release all these people that you dated or the crushes. You have to release them via inner work, via tools and techniques. Because if you carry them on with the rest of your life, that will create a big barrier in your union with the divine masculine. In fact, the divine masculine also has a set of these issues and also has his own set of karmics. So you gotta do the clearing, because if you do the clearing fearlessly, don't get scared of pain and aches and that heaviness. Keep breathing. Watch your breath. I keep telling people, watch your breath, drink a lot of water. That will cleanse your system. Keep drinking water. Keep a bottle of water with you all the time. This is my recommendation to all of you. Water has a great energy, and try to charge your water with loving words. Like hold the bottle in your hand. Someday I will probably show you a video how I do it. Hold the bottle in your hand with both hands and just chant a few mantras. There are many nice mantras which create that energy in the water, and then drink that water. Drink and keep charging your water. Just say, hold the bottle and say, I love you, or say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you God, thank you angels. I'm protected, I'm loved, I'm taken care of, I'm happy, I'm content, I'm connected to my source, my love is always with me. Say these nice things and loving things and positive things, and drink the water like that. Charge your water. And again, these are the things that a therapist would tell you in a therapy session. But I don't really care about these things. I know that the masters are there with me. They always take care of me. So I'm going to give you whatever, I think is right in the moment, in the time. And if you feel that, okay, I need to have a separate session, I have some individual work to do, I need to get this out of my system, I need to release this, then you can simply write to me and, we will figure it out. So, all right, I have done this channeling, and thank you so much. I love you a lot. One love and peace out. Mwah.